Dear students, we have already discussed about the discovery of cathode rays, electrons, protons, Thomson's model of atom, Rutherford's model of atom, etc. During the further development course, Newton regarded light as a stream of particles. So according to Newton, light is what? Light is stream of particles. He also named that stream of particle as corpuscles of light. So this explains the particle nature of light. This particle nature of light could explain certain phenomenon. What are these certain phenomenon explained by particle nature of light? This was reflection and refraction. But some phenomenon were left unexplained. These two were explained by the particle nature. Unexplained was not explained by the particle nature. What are these two? These are interference and diffraction. These were the phenomenon which were not explained by considering the particle nature. In 1870, James Clerk Maxwell, J. Clerk Maxwell, he stated that light, X-rays, gamma rays, etc., all these are the form of energy, and this energy is emitted continuously in the form of waves. This energy is emitted continuously in form of waves. So what does it explain? It tells us that all these kind of energy is having the wave nature. So till now we were talking about the particle nature. Newton explained the particle nature of light, while now we are talking about that because some of the phenomena like interference and diffraction were unexplained because of the particle nature. That is why further discovery lead to that Clerk Maxwell, he gave that light rays, X-rays, gamma rays, heat, etc., all are emitted continuously in form of waves. They all are emitted continuously in form of waves. So this explains the wave character, and according to him, these waves are having both the fields in them, that is electric field as well as magnetic field. That is why he named these waves as electromagnetic waves. Now what are these electromagnetic waves or electromagnetic radiation? These electromagnetic waves are the light, X-rays, gamma rays, heat, etc. All these kind of energy is electromagnetic waves only. Why are they called as electromagnetic waves? Because it contains both the fields, electric field as well as magnetic field. It contains both the field. That is why it is called as electromagnetic wave. Both the fields are there. Now what are the major postulates? What are the major postulates of electromagnetic wave theory given by Clerk Maxwell? What are the major postulates? Number one, the energy is emitted continuously. Energy is emitted continuously in form of radiations or waves. Emitted continuously in form of radiations or waves. So this is the first feature of electromagnetic wave theory. Now the second feature is, now these, because we have already discussed that these are the electromagnetic waves. Why are they called as electromagnetic waves? Because it contains electric field as well as magnetic field. Now how this electric and magnetic field is present there? These electric fields, say if this is the direction of propagation of radiations, say the radiations are traveling from left to right, in this direction they are traveling. Now the direction of electric field will be perpendicular to this direction, and the direction of magnetic field, this is the direction of electric field, and the direction of magnetic field will be perpendicular to this direction. That may be out of the plane or that may be below the plane. So that is how the direction is there. We can show it in this way. This is along the third axis. So that's how electric and magnetic field both are perpendicular to each other, as well as both are perpendicular to the direction of propagation of the wave. So this is what, this is the direction of propagation of wave. This is the direction of propagation of wave. This is the direction of electric field perpendicular to this, and this is the direction of magnetic field, either above the plane or below the plane, so perpendicular to the plane, right? So this is the direction of magnetic field. So that's how electric and magnetic field both are perpendicular to each other, and they are perpendicular to the direction of propagation also. Now the next point about the electromagnetic wave theory, that is all these electromagnetic waves or radiations, they travel with the speed of light. So electromagnetic radiations travel with the speed of light. And what is the speed of light? That is 3 into 10 raised to power 8 meter per second. It means they travel very fast, just like the speed of light. Then as light doesn't require any medium for its travel, similarly these electromagnetic radiations also, they do not require any medium. They do not require any medium for their propagation. Require any medium, or they can travel in vacuum also. So these are the postulates of electromagnetic wave theory. So if we recapitulate the things, how will we do it? That after the development of after the Rutherford's model of atom, during the course of further development, Newton gave that light is made up of the stream of particles, or which is called as corpuscles of light. The particle nature of light could explain reflection, refraction happening in light, but it was not able to explain the interference and diffraction. Then J. Clerk Maxwell, he stated that light or X-rays or gamma rays or heat etc. emitted continuously in form of waves or in form of radiations, and he named these waves or radiations as electromagnetic waves. Why these waves or radiations are called as electromagnetic waves or radiations? Because it contains electric field as well as magnetic field. So then what are the various postulates of this electromagnetic wave theory? Electromagnetic wave theory given by Clerk Maxwell, which states or which support electromagnetic wave theory, which support the wave nature of the electromagnetic radiations, electromagnetic wave theory. So according to this, what are the various postulates? Energy is emitted continuously in form of radiations or waves. Then the radiations are made up of electric and magnetic field together, and both are perpendicular to each other as well as perpendicular to the direction of propagation, as we can see here. Then the electromagnetic radiations, they travel with the speed of light. They do not require any medium, or they can travel in vacuum also. So all these are the various features or the postulates of electromagnetic wave theory. Now what are the various drawbacks of electromagnetic wave theory? Why this electromagnetic wave theory or the wave nature of radiations is discarded or is not completely able to explain all the phenomenon? Why is it so? What are the drawbacks of electromagnetic wave theory? Electromagnetic wave theory, as we started with, it was able to explain, electromagnetic wave theory is able to explain, was able to explain what? Whatever was not explained by Newton, that is interference and diffraction, two of the very important phenomenon related or based on the wave nature. It was explained by electromagnetic wave theory, was able to explain interference and diffraction. interference and diffraction. Both were explained, but drawback are could not explain photoelectric effect and black body radiations. So these were the two phenomenon which was not explained by electromagnetic wave theory. So these are the drawbacks. Now if we consider the wave nature of these radiations, so we should know about the characteristics of waves also. Now what is a wave? Wave is a kind of disturbance, and we consider that wave travels in this form. Wave travels in this form along a particular point. So this height, or you can say this particular is called as crest, and this is called as trough. So we have crest and trough. So wave is a kind of disturbance and it travels in form of crest or trough. So related with the waves, we have certain terms which we need to know, like we have wavelength. Now what is wavelength? Wavelength is lambda. So how do we define wavelength? Wavelength is the distance between any two consecutive crests or troughs, right? So if we talk about the wavelength, then how is it? How can we define it? We can say this is one crest, this is another crest. So distance between any two consecutive crests or the distance between any two consecutive trough is called as wavelength. So distance between any two consecutive crest or trough is called as wavelength. Now if it is a distance, then what should be the unit? Unit should be the distance unit, so it will be either in centimeter or meter, or it can be in the smaller units also, that is nanometer, angstrom, micrometer, etc., etc. So the units for this is called as wavelength, and units are either meter or centimeter or nanometer or angstrom or micrometer, etc. So these are the various units in which the wavelength can be measured. Now the next characteristic we are starting with, that is amplitude. Now what is amplitude of a wave? Amplitude is represented with A. Now what is this amplitude stands for? It is the maximum height of a crest or maximum depth of a trough. Now the height of a crest will always be equal to the depth of a trough. So that is why it is the maximum height of a crest or depth of trough is called as amplitude. Now moving to the next, and because it is the length or height, that is why again the units will be same as meter, centimeter, nanometer, etc., etc. Then next term we are aware about, that is frequency. Frequency we represent it with nu. Now what is this frequency? Frequency is the number of wavelengths, or you can say it is the number of waves passing through a point in 1 second. What does it mean? Say for example, if this is the point, so through this point how many waves passes in 1 second? How many waves passes in 1 second is called as frequency. Like if I talk about the frequency of my speech, it means like how many words do I speak per second is the frequency of my speech. If I say I speak faster, or my frequency of speech is greater than you, what does it mean? That I speak or more number of words per second as compared to you. So that is the same case here. What is frequency? Frequency is the number of waves passing through a particular point in 1 second. How many waves passes through? So that is why the units of this can be cycles per second. Cycles per second, how many waves per second? So how many cycles per second, right? So it can be cycles per second, that is CPS, or the units of frequency will be, because we are talking about per second, so second inverse can be the units, or the other very commonly used units is hertz, 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 and abbreviated as HZ, right? So 1 hertz is equal to 1 cycles per second. That is how it is. So hertz in cycles per second is one and the same thing. Another term related with the waves is velocity. Velocity is same, that is the distance traveled by the wave in 1 second. So the units will be meter per second. How much distance is traveled by a wave in 1 second is the velocity. Now the next term which is new for us, that is wave number. Wave number represented by nu bar. So what is this wave number? Wave number is the number of wavelengths, or you can say it is the number of waves present in 1 unit length. Say if this is 1 centimeter length. So in this 1 centimeter length, how many waves are there is called as wave number. So you can see here it is almost reciprocal of the wavelength. Wavelength was the length of a wave, or you can say the distance between any two consecutive crest or trough. So here we are talking about the wave number. What is wave number? That in a particular distance, how many waves are there is called as wave number. So how do we define it? Wave number is the number of waves which are present in 1 centimeter length during the propagation, or you can say along the direction of its travel. So nu bar is equal to 1 upon lambda. It is reciprocal of this, and because the units for lambda is meter or centimeter, then units of nu bar will be either centimeter inverse or meter inverse or nanometer inverse, etc., etc. Now there is another thing which everybody should know, that is relation between wavelength, frequency and velocity of light. Wavelength, frequency and velocity of light, C. This is velocity of light. So what is the relation? It is found that C is equal to nu lambda. So from here, if we want to calculate frequency, we can say C upon lambda, and C is what? It is the velocity of light. That is why its value is fixed. So we can say frequency is equal to C upon lambda, and we can calculate it in terms of nu bar also. We know that lambda is equal to 1 upon nu bar. So we can say this 1 upon lambda, we can say nu is equal to C into 1 upon lambda. Now this 1 upon lambda is nu bar. So we can say that frequency is equal to C into nu bar. So this is another relation we can use. So all these are the relations which will be used in the numericals. Now the next we are starting with, that is electromagnetic spectrum. Now what is electromagnetic spectrum? Electromagnetic spectrum is the wide range of the electromagnetic radiation. The entire range of the electromagnetic radiations is called as electromagnetic spectrum. But that is not the definition. How do we define this electromagnetic spectrum? Electromagnetic spectrum is the arrangement of different electromagnetic radiations in order of increasing wavelength or decreasing frequency. So what is electromagnetic spectrum? It is the arrangement of electromagnetic radiation in increasing order of lambda or decreasing order of frequency is called as electromagnetic spectrum. So let's see this. How can we arrange them? Like if we start arranging them, then say along this direction, wavelength is increasing, lambda increases along this direction, and if lambda increases, if wavelength increases, then there should be decrease in frequency. So we can say that frequency decreases. So on moving from left to right, say lambda increases, frequency decreases. So how can we arrange them? The cosmic rays. Cosmic rays are the rays with the minimum wavelength and maximum frequency, followed by gamma rays, followed by X rays, followed by ultraviolet rays, followed by visible, then followed by after visible. Here we can well understand that red is having maximum wavelength, and after red, more than that wavelength is infrared. Then we have microwaves, and then we have radio waves. So that is how we can have the electromagnetic spectrum. Now the range of visible region is this is 380 nanometer to 380 nanometer to it is 760 nanometer. So this is the range of the visible region, the wavelength. Now here we should understand cosmic rays minimum wavelength and maximum frequency, while radio waves are with maximum wavelength and minimum frequency. So that is how the electromagnetic spectrum is there. Thank you.